Good morning. It's Thursday, June 13th, and we are sitting in our bedroom at the present time. We've just come back from a camping trip, which we made to Taipingot, which is the latter end of the peninsula on the island here. If you borrowed the maps from the Germans, you will see Taipingot located on the maps, and you can see where we went. It was very interesting. It's very high. We had to climb up this kind of cliffy area, and then it consists of a lot of scrub and very sharp, thorny bushes, so it was quite a hard climb in that we had to crawl through all this stuff, but it was most enjoyable, and we had a good time. We went up yesterday afternoon, we came back this morning, and we had our little tent, and we took that with us, so there was no problem with mosquitoes or anything else. So it worked out pretty well, except we got a little scratched up, but other than that, we were in fine shape and we had a good time.
My memory of our first attempt to climb Mount Taipingot, also called Wedding Cake Mountain, alone in June 1968, is that it was a dreadful experience. Perhaps I did not want to tell our parents about the details on a tape. The note on the slide says, "From the top of Taipingot, we hiked and got lost and had to spend the night. It was all lava stone, thorns, briars, bees. You can see the savanna and village and both docks. I remember brushing into a nest of tiny bees that they had on Rota as I crawled through brambles and thorns. I got stung all over and tore my clothes." The walk from our home on the neck through the coconut grove to the base of the mountain was easy. We found a path going up, but after a little ways we started having to climb over jagged rocks or coral. The note on this slide says, "Village taken from near the top of Taipingot, coconut plantation in foreground, West Dock and village. It was hard to climb, and we did not make it to the very top." The next morning, we did not know which way to walk to get off the mountain, and came to the edge of a tall cliff going straight down to the ocean. The note on the slide says, "From Taipingot, shows reef and open sea, a few sharks on the right side." We backtracked and came to a crevice going down the mountain that we managed somehow to get down. I thought we might die up there. We had not told anybody where we were going. But months later, we had a totally different experience, going up Wedding Cake Mountain with the Manglona family, and we made it to the top. It is possible that Mr. Manglona carried a machete, as most did when walking in overgrown areas, and he may have cleared some of the path. In any case, we enjoyed the trip to the top with no difficulties.
This girl kid's talking about is the same family that we walked up to the top of the Taipingot with Sunday a week ago. I don't think we told you about this. We did tell you that we did go camping up there, but of course we didn't know the proper way to go about it. But his father did, and so he took us up along with his wife and 3 of the daughters, and it was really interesting. The path was kind of overgrown and kind of messed up from the typhoon, but it was still a lot better than the path we took, and we got all the way up to the top in about 2 hours, and we were able to make it back unscathed. So it was very interesting, and we got some nice pictures, I think, from the top. So these may again be very interesting for you when you get them.
Annamarie Songsong Manglona, better known as Nena, wrote in December 2020 to tell me more about her family from the photos shared on the KPV Collection website. Here she is then and now. In May 2022, I asked her to share some stories. She said, "My memory of the climb to Taipingot is vague. In fact, I only know Taipingot as the Wedding Cake Mountain. The photos show my sisters, Anuncia wearing orange and yellow, Alfonsina and myself wearing blue. Nena was around 15 or 16 at the time and was unhappy on that day because her sister had chopped off her hair. About her father, Rainaldo Songsong Manglona, she shares, "My father had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Both my parents enjoyed farming and gardening. My father's other interest was fishing, and later the law. He was a policeman. He also took part in politics." About her mother, she says, "My mother, Maria Songsong Manglona, was an only child. When a baby, both her parents passed away, leaving her to be raised by neighbors and families. My mother was a superwoman. She did everything possible to make sure her children were well taken care of. She had a talent for designing and sewing dresses. She was also very religious. I don't remember her ever missing a mass." Nena further describes the war years. "My father was also involved with the Japanese during the war. He was used as an interpreter, while my mother took care of our oldest brother, her first child. She was a fearless woman because she would go out looking for shellfish while the bombs were dropping around her. The bombs weren't to harm Rota or my mother, but to warn the Japanese that Americans are in the area and coming for them. Rota was left with Japanese souvenirs, like small trains that used to haul the sugarcane, a few cannons, caves where the Japanese hid, leftover bombs, and so forth. I have many stories my parents shared with me. The most important message I want to say is, my parents were the best people I knew. They were both kind, understanding, and generous, even when we barely had anything. They provided for us the best they could, and they loved us with all their hearts." If you have time, please listen to the song "Like My Mother Does" by Lauren Alaina. People tell me I'm so much like my mother, and that makes me happy. On another day, we visited their farm. Nena recalls, "My parents grew watermelon, cucumbers, tapioca, and we helped pull weeds. At that time, no farmer had any outside help with their farms. We, the children, had to help. My parents went to our farm daily to water and pull weeds. Our favorite time was when harvesting the watermelons, because we got to eat some by deliberately dropping 1 or 2. My mother and other farmers used to take their produce to the airport to sell to tourists. On another time, we went to the beach with the Manglonas. Here I am sitting with the 3 sisters at a territorial party gathering at Tewksbury Beach. Nena recalls, "The swimming hole is still a favorite place for me. We spent many Manglona family picnics there." In future months, women in the village, usually older ones, would come get me to go with them to pick medicinal herbs from special places going up the mountain. They knew the path and the right places to go. They also knew that I liked to explore Rota and learn new things. However, I never tried to climb alone to the top again.